New video to our monitors shows us the latest U.S. military escalation off the coast of Venezuela. You are seeing it here behind me. The 30th known military strike on a boat allegedly carrying drugs into the United States. In this hit, 2 are dead. That brings the total number of known deaths up to 107. This latest target comes while President Trump confirms the first known U.S. land strike inside of Venezuela. Listen.
The facility taken out by the U.S. military, or was it another entity like the CIA?
Well, I don't want to say that. I know exactly who it was, but I don't want to say who it was. But you know, it was along the shore.
So let's take this apart. Live now to White House reporter Aaron Navarro. So Aaron, what more are we learning about that land strike?
Yeah, well, President Trump was the first one to announce this publicly, both yesterday in his meeting with Netanyahu, as well as during a radio interview last Friday where he suggested the strike may have happened around last Wednesday, so Christmas Eve. The White House and U.S. agencies are not sharing many details. U.S. Special Operations said it did not support this operation with intelligence, and the CIA declined to comment, though we do know that President Trump authorized CIA operations in Venezuela earlier this year. We also know that a nearby fire in this area of Venezuela that occurred at the warehouse of a chemical production company is not tied to this strike, and that's according to a statement from the company Primazol. And we still have not yet heard from Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro in response to this strike last week.
But what's the messaging where Maduro is concerned? Because certainly we've seen international and national media ask the president about whether he is really doing this to put pressure on Maduro for regime change.
And that's been objective for President Trump even since his first term. And President Trump yesterday did say that he had spoken to the Venezuelan leader, but said nothing much came out of it. Take a listen to his response from yesterday here.
I spoke to him.
Recently?
Pretty recently. Reasonably, but nothing much comes of it. Yeah, you have to understand what he's done. They've sent billions of dollars of drugs in. But maybe just as bad, they've sent hundreds of thousands of people in from jails, from prisons, from mental institutions and insane asylums. But 97% of the drugs coming in by the ocean, by the sea, by water, are gone. Every boat that we take out, we save 25,000 lives of Americans.
Now, the drug trade and trafficking, as you heard President Trump, has been the public argument behind the heightened military presence, but oil in Venezuela is also a big factor. That's why you've seen President Trump announce a blockade of sanctioned vessels coming in and out of Venezuela, and you saw the U.S. seize 2 fully loaded cargo ships of Venezuelan oil earlier this month. And Trump made it clear when he announced that blockade that he wants the U.S. to have more of a presence. And when it comes to oil in Venezuela, he said that the country needs to return its assets, a reference to when U.S. companies, nearly every one of them, was pushed out of the oil business in Venezuela once it became under state control in the 1970s. And in the backdrop of all of this is that China has a big foothold in Venezuelan oil, notable adversary to the United States during President Trump's second term, and adding to the list of reasons why oil may be an even bigger motivation behind all the heightened military presence that we're seeing in Venezuela.
Aaron Navarro live from the White House. Thank you.